What's up, people? Okay, so today's episode is gonna be a little bit different. If you remember a couple episodes back during my unboxing video, I showed you guys a pair of Kooky tail lamps. Well, today's the day that I'm finally gonna be experimenting with them. So I have my Kooky tail lamp here. I have my heat gun, and I also just received all the parts that I need to start experimenting with the Kooky tail lamps and doing the LED tail light conversion. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so this is pretty much what you need to start working on the Kooky tail lamps. You need the lamps itself, of course, a flathead screwdriver to pry it open from the housing when you heat it up with the heat gun or an oven, LED tail rings, depending on which one you like, place your order for them, and gloves just in case it gets too hot while you're trying to pry the lens open from the housing. I'm not going to be working on this particular one. It came with another lens which has already been broken, so I'm going to be working on this one because I don't want to mess this lens up. This is still good. However, this one's already been broken, so I'm going to be using the heat gun on this and try and pry it from its housing. It's probably going to be a little bit easier as well because I can reach my hand in and pull it out. So yeah, let's get started on this one. Okay, so I'm recording on my GoPro right now. I'm going to be doing a time lapse. I've got the heat gun set up. I've got the tail lamps I want to be working on. So yeah, I'm going to be going on low heat in the beginning for a couple minutes to see if the glue underneath tacks up and I can start prying it out or not. So yeah, I'm also going to be removing this plastic film that the previous owner put on to make it look like that nothing happened. So yeah, let's start working on this one. See, that's why I chose to work on the broken one, because I accidentally snapped the plastic one already. Okay, so as you can see, I managed to remove the lens from the housing. I did not break it. It was already broken, so that's why it came out in a couple of different pieces. So from my experiments, I realized that the glue actually turns tacky at about 50 degrees Celsius. I'm not too sure what's that in Fahrenheit. I'll put it down in the bottom of the screen somewhere for you guys in the States or anywhere else that uses Fahrenheit. And I also realized that maybe a second pair of hands would actually help in the process a lot, because the glue tends to cool down really quickly. I heated the entire edge up to about 80 to 90 degrees Celsius because that makes the glue way more malleable, and it's easier to remove if you have a second pair of hands to help you constantly maintain heat on the edges while you try and pry the lens out from the housing. So luckily I had a temperature gun. I used this back in my RC days. So yeah, I was able to take readings on how hot you need the glue to be to remove it and stuff. So yeah, about 80 to 90 degrees Celsius would be the sweet spot. Otherwise it gets a little bit too hot to even handle with gloves on. And I also realized that if you heat it up hot enough, your lens actually becomes soft along the edges. So you guys might want to take note on that. I managed to actually, just by pressure alone, I managed to just bend the lens in a little bit on the edges. So, but this is junk anyway, so I didn't really bother. So yeah, I'm gonna try and remove the second set of lens from the other tail lamps that I have. Yes. So we got this piece out from the housing completely without damaging it at all. The only, I guess the only slight damage is, ouch, it's still a little bit hot, from me prying at the bottom, but I could probably heat this up and get it back to normal. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter because you won't be able to see it anyways. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna be reusing this glue or not. I might probably try silicone or something. So if I'm decide to go with silicone, I'll probably clean all this glue up and then stick it back down with silicone or something. So yeah, right now we've completely removed the housing from, the lens from the housing, and yeah, as you can see, the glue, there's glue all around it. It's still pretty warm. I heat the thing up for about 10 minutes, evenly going around the edge and then slowly prying it out. And then once you get a little bit of the edge going, everything starts to get easier. But you saw me heating up the back once more, because by the time I was able to pry the whole thing up, this side had already cooled down, so I had to heat it up a little bit more just to make the glue more malleable. And yeah, we managed to get this whole thing out in one piece without breaking it. So it's definitely possible to do it with just a heat gun. So, but just be careful, make sure to put it on the low setting. It's better to go slow than fast. So, yeah. Okay, so I've got my LED rings here. So right now I'm just gonna take a set out, a set of LED rings out and test them. So you can see the different LED rings that I got with the different diffusers to make it look more OEM, because in my opinion, I don't think I'd like to see the LED diodes, the individual diodes they have. So I bought two different kinds to try out first, and then I'll decide later on which one I want to go. Okay, so I've connected the white one up first. This LED rings are 12 volt LED rings, so yeah, so let me adjust the power voltage to 12 volts. Yep, so we're about there. So you can see that with this white ring on the camera, I'm not sure if you guys can see. It's a little bit bright. Let's see if I can address the contrast. Yeah, okay. So the glow on these rings are way more uniform compared to when I take out the white diffuser, the plastic ring that they give. So you can see that, you can roughly see the diodes without the white ring, but once I put it on, it diffuses the light really nicely. Let me swap over to the clear one and I'll show you guys. Okay, so I've wired up the clear one now. I'm gonna slowly increase the voltage to show you guys. When it lights up, you can roughly, you can kind of tell that the color's not that great. First of all, it looks really pink compared to the one with the white glow, and then when I take the ring off, it's not very nice compared to the white one. So, but still, I'm gonna try both of them out and see which one actually looks better, because with the lens it might look another way, it might look more different, and without the lens it just looks ugly and stuff. So I'll connect both of this up to show you guys. Okay, so I've connected both the clear one and the white one up, so I'm gonna show you guys right now. There's a little bit of problem with my power supply, so yeah, you can already tell on the camera the color difference. The white one looks way better than the clear one, so but I'm not gonna strike the clear one out too early. I'm gonna try it out with the lens later, so we'll see how it works. Okay, so I've got them wired up right now. I took the plastic diffusers out right now, so you can see how bright they are on camera. Also, the quality on the white ones, the first set I got, they're a little bit different. The smaller ring is pink in color, and the The bigger ring is red in color, but overall both of them kind of look the same color on camera, and you can already tell that the white ones, they look great just straight off the bat. So over the tail lamps, I'm just gonna position them so they line up under this too. So yeah, this is it right now. You can tell that this is brighter and this one not so much, but more uniform. I can still see a little bit of the diodes under there somehow or other. So I might just go with the white one, and let me just adjust. You know what? I'm just gonna off the lights. So let's see how it looks without the lights. So this is how they look without the lights. Okay, so I flipped the lights back on, and then I've positioned the LED rings to roughly where they're gonna be at once it's finalized. They're being held in right now by Bluetech, so it doesn't really matter. In the final version, I'll be either hot gluing them down, or I'll use some kind of silicone to secure them down or something. So yeah, I've also run the wire through the original bulb location because I didn't want to mess with the housing, having to drill additional holes and stuff. So that's the best way you should run the wiring as well. And yeah, this side is going to be the white ring LEDs, and then this side is going to be the clear ring LEDs. So I'm going to be doing 2 different rings on each side, and then so I can decide which ones I'm going to be running for the final version. And also I'm going to be doing a little bit more experiment to see which one's better, which one's going to last, you know. So it's going to take a while for the next part of this video, but it's going to be worth it because I don't want the rings to fail once I put the lens back on, because it's going to be a big hassle to remove the lens from the housing again, and it might break and stuff. So I want to touch the lens and the housing as little as possible. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Do remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll let you know once part 2 is up. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.